The Grandfather Who Listened to Hearts, a book for children who are learning to listen to their hearts. By Théodore Mafté. Narrator, Alexandrina Miyawara. Preface. I love and admire children who feel with all their hearts. Those who laugh loudly, cry easily, get angry quickly, and forgive even faster. Those who are not afraid to say, I'm afraid, I'm sad, I'm happy, or I love you. To me, these children are the true sages of the world. They do not hide behind big words, and they do not wear masks. They know, without anyone having taught them, that emotions are alive and that it is beautiful to let them live. I wrote this book for them, for all the children who wonder why sometimes their heart beats faster, for those who do not understand why they feel like crying for no reason, or why they get angry when no one listens to them, for those who feel more than they are able to say. Every story in this book is a window into an inner world. There, emotions are not enemies, but curious friends who only want to be understood. Fear, anger, shame, joy, sadness, hope. All of them are parts of the same heart. I would like every child who reads these lines to discover something simple and true, that there is nothing wrong with feeling, that tears are not weakness, but water that cleanses the heart, that anger is a flame that can ignite courage, that joy is not found far away, but in the small things. And above all, that love is the silent language through which all emotions make peace. If in the end, even a single child learns to listen to themselves, if they close their eyes and say, my heart has something to say, then I will know that this book has fulfilled its destiny. Because the world becomes kinder not when children remain silent, but when they are free to feel. If, at the end of the book, the grandfather who listened to hearts, you felt moved, or even if something did not convince you, I warmly invite you to leave a small review on Amazon, Facebook, or YouTube. For me, it is important to know what you felt while reading, because every word helps me grow and continue writing with sincerity. Théodore Mafté, a friend of children who know how to listen to their own hearts. The Grandfather Who Listened to Hearts. Spring, the beginning of the inner journey. Spring had descended upon the village among the hills, like a long breath of the earth. The air smelled of wet soil, and beneath the melting snow, thin blades of new grass were beginning to appear. In the courtyard of Grandfather Myron, the old century-old pear tree had blossomed once again, covering the wooden bench with a white rain of petals. Grandfather Myron gently cleaned the bench with a cloth, as if he were preparing the altar of a story. His white beard shone in the sunlight, and a patch of light filtered through the branches rested on his shoulders. From the house came the scent of linden tea and the wood slowly burning in the cast-iron stove. The whole scene seemed suspended between silence and expectation, as if even the wind had stopped breathing in order to listen. In that village among the mountains, everyone knew Myron. He was neither a teacher nor a priest, but simply a wise old man with clear eyes and hands that knew how to listen. The children affectionately called him the grandfather who listens to hearts, and the adults, even if they never said it aloud, respected him deeply. It was said that if you sat beside him under the pear tree, your heart would become lighter. From the courtyard gate, 3 cheerful voices suddenly broke the quiet of the morning. "Grandfather!" shouted Anna, quick as a little bird. "Look how many blossoms the pear tree has," added Luca enthusiastically. "I brought you a dandelion," said Mara, holding it like a small treasure. Grandfather Mirren smiled and lifted his eyes toward the white branches. "It's true, my dear ones. Spring has arrived in the branches, but also in your eyes. Come, sit down. Today we will learn to listen to what cannot be seen." They all sat on the bench beneath the flowering pear tree. The wind gently moved the petals, which settled on the children's cheeks like soft caresses. A hen crossed the courtyard, scratching the earth, and from the garden came the murmur of a small stream. "You see," said Miran, "all living things speak. The wind, the earth, the trees, even silence. But the deepest voice is the voice of the heart." Anna laughed. "Do hearts really speak?" "Of course," he replied. "They just don't use words." "And you can hear them, grandfather?" Luca asked curiously. "That is what I have done all my life," said Myron. "That is why they call me the grandfather who listens to hearts." For a moment the wind stopped. Mirren took a small, smooth stone from his pocket, gray-blue and shining. "Take it, Anna. Close your eyes and tell me what you feel." Anna held it tightly in her palm. "It feels warm, and it makes me want to laugh." "That is joy, my little one," he said. "When you recognize it, you can feel it all the way to your fingertips." Then he passed the stone to Luca. "I feel it heavy, and it seems like it wants to run away." "That is fear," explained Mirren. "It has a story, too. It just speaks too quickly." When it was Mara's turn, the girl remained silent for a few moments. "It feels like it's crying," she whispered. "That is sadness," said the grandfather. "Do not run away from it. It is the water that waters the garden of the heart." The stone shone in the sunlight, and the light moved across its surface like a small living river. "Emotions, my children, are like the seasons. They come and go, but without them, life would always remain the same, cold and dry. Joy is spring. Fear is the summer storm. Sadness is the autumn rain, and winter is the time of silence." Anna rested her chin on her hands. "And what are we learning today?" "Today we are learning to listen to the map of the heart. Not a map of roads, but a map of feelings." The sun slowly began to descend, and Myron called them into the house. The floor creaked softly beneath their steps, and in the stove the wood burned calmly. The icons on the walls reflected a steady golden light. "Every evening," said the grandfather, "we will talk about an emotion. We will learn to recognize it in people, in animals, in the wind. Today we have only met them." The children nodded silently. Myron lit the lamp and took a small carved wooden box. Inside here, I keep the memories of the hearts that have sat on the bench beneath the pear tree. Not their words, but the sounds of their silence. He handed the box to the children. Each one pressed an ear against it. "I hear a whistle," said Anna. "I hear a gallop," added Luca. "I hear a sigh," murmured Mara. "They are all there," replied Myron. "Joy, fear, sadness. Every heart leaves a trace, and the world is full of these traces if you learn to listen." After drinking tea, the grandfather took out 3 wool threads, red, blue, and green. "Tie them around your wrists. They are promises. Red for courage, blue for calm, green for kindness." Anna smiled and tied hers first. "I promise." "Me too," said Luca. "Me too," whispered Mara. The grandfather placed a hand on each of their heads. "Remember, children, emotions are not enemies. They are compasses that show the path of your heart." Outside, the pear tree let its petals fall across the courtyard. The wind gently moved the small iron bell hanging at the door. Cling, cling, and the village smelled of a new beginning. When evening came, the children lay down in their room. Before falling asleep, each one placed a hand over their chest and whispered softly, "Here is my light." Outside, the old pear tree also fell asleep beneath the clear spring sky. And from the window, Grandfather Myron murmured quietly, "Tonight I listen to the first heart. Tomorrow we begin with the story of joy." Evening game. The ear of the heart. Sit on your bed with your back straight and one hand on your chest. Listen to your heart for 10 beats. For each one, say a small gift. "Thank you. I am here. I hear you." Then rest your head on the chest of someone you love. 2 hearts, 2 rhythms, 1 life. Good night, little dreamers. After such a beautiful story, now it's time to close your eyes, but not your heart. Shh. Listen to the silence as it gently settles in. The moon is there, watching over your dreams. Breathe softly. Inhale, exhale, like a delicate whisper among the stars. Your heart beats calmly. Today's adventures are drifting off to sleep like books closing gently. Now your bed is a little boat. It carries you across a sea of fluffy clouds, where dreams are waiting for you with a smile. If a special dream comes to you tonight, hold it close. It came just for you. And remember, you are loved. You are safe. You are precious. Good night, little hero. Good night, little star. Tomorrow the sun will rise again, and you will shine even brighter. Sweet dreams.